Israeli agriculture has made many impressive achievements since the establishment of the state, especially in light of the adverse conditions prevailing in the country. The success of Israeli agriculture serves as an inspiration to many countries. Israel's water resources are severely limited, posing a problem in a country that is 50% desert. Only 20% of the country is arable, yet we have succeeded in developing a modern agricultural infrastructure with unique irrigation methods and record yields in many crops. Israeli farmers supply all the fruit and vegetables consumed on the domestic market throughout the year, as well as a wide variety of export crops. A number of factors contribute to the success of Israeli agriculture: resourcefulness and determination, an internationally renowned research and development system, and an efficient field extension service. From the early days of settlement, pioneers understood the importance of local agricultural research as opposed to the adoption of foreign agricultural methods. In 1921, at the initiation of Professor Yitzhak Elazari Volcani, a Central Institute for Agricultural Research was established. Over time, the institute became the Agricultural Research Organization. Today, the organization is the Ministry of Agriculture's main research branch and has gained international acclaim. The organization conducts about 75% of all national agricultural R&D activities. It is composed of 7 research institutes located at the Volcani Center at Beit Dagan and 3 regional research centers: Neve Yaar in the north, Gilat in the south, and the Central Experimental Station. The Institute of Horticulture no longer limits itself to the 7 biblical species and develops the natural abundance of the world for local growing conditions. The range of fruits is varied to meet domestic and export requirements. Acclimation of the lychee tree, brought to Israel from the Far East, was conducted by scientists of the Department of Fruit Trees and Ornamental Horticulture. The researchers developed a domestic cultivar with a small seed and a superb taste. This development is a result of imported cultivars from all over the world and of deliberate hybridization. Passiflora, which is not yet grown commercially in Israel, was developed into a cultivar which has excellent shape, aroma, and taste. The Institute's research team is currently developing seedless grape cultivars with a large berry, improved taste, high yield, and long shelf life. There is a great demand for these cultivars in export markets. The completion of the development of these grape cultivars is conducted by sophisticated biotechnological methods that enable insertion of additional characteristics, such as disease resistance, using genetic engineering methods. The Institute of Field and Garden Crops develops and acclimates many new crops that were previously non-existent in Israel. For example, paprika cultivars compatible with Israel's conditions have been developed. The paprika developed here excels in its quality, color, high yields, and suitability of the plant to mechanized harvesting. Today, paprika cultivars developed by researchers of the Institute of Field and Garden Crops cover thousands of hectares throughout the country, especially in the Negev. Thanks to these researchers, Israel is an international leader in paprika production. In addition, the richly colorful cultivars developed here produce a red color that is used as a natural food coloring. And there is also exoticism. After a few years of acclimation of the pepino plant, brought to Israel from South America, variety tests of local cultivars are currently being conducted at the experimental Arava R&D station near the Dead Sea. The fruit has a special aroma, is low in calories and sugar, and meets consumer demands. it has a good chance of succeeding on the domestic and export markets. We were also inspired by flowers from different parts of the world. Scientists of the Department of Floriculture in the Institute of Horticulture domesticated proteas, indigenous to the southern hemisphere, to commercial cultivation under Israeli conditions. Durable rootstock and unique growing methods were developed, enabling proteas to flourish in Israel's soils. How to maintain maximum quality and long shelf life. Researchers of the Institute of Technology and Storage of Agricultural Products developed unique systems to extend vase life, contributing to the success of Israel's flower export. These researchers also play an important part in developing the extended shelf life of various vegetables and fruits. Together with the Institute of Agricultural Engineering, they have developed a method to substantially extend shelf life based on brushing vegetables and spraying them with warm water under controlled temperature and for measured periods. Using the original model, the system is now applied in most Israeli packing houses. This system allows sweet peppers, for example, to be stored in excellent condition for about 4 weeks and to be shipped by sea rather than by air, reducing prices and enabling marketing of unlimited quantities. Thanks to this system, Arava farmers have doubled their growing area to satisfy export demands for quality Israeli peppers. Extended shelf life is also studied from the aspect of the effect of ethylene gas and CO2 ratio in the production area. As a result of this research, bags with tiny pores were developed, microproportion, that enable regulation of the CO2 level in the bag. The required relative humidity and ratio between CO2 and oxygen is maintained. These bags are used to pack fresh export products. And what about the great demand for fresh herbs? In an experimental cooling room, the influence of relative humidity and water loss on the aging of green herbs is studied. The exact harvest period of soft Chiani dates is very important. Therefore, the Institute for Agricultural Engineering developed an instrument for determining the fruit's maturity according to its sugar level, without damaging its texture. This instrument determines the optimum harvest date quickly and efficiently. With slight adaptation, the same instrument can be used to sort barche dates. This sorting system enables research of proper treatment and storage according to the fruit's different sugar levels. Israeli labor is synonymous with expensive labor, and this aspect too benefits from creative research. The monorail wagon is one of the many developments of the Institute of Agricultural Engineering, designed to make agricultural labor more efficient and to save human resources while maintaining the product's quality and freshness. This also applies to the self-conveyor wagon, operated by remote control and guided along a track by a cable buried in the concrete path. Another research project developed a new and unique method for burying bulbs for propagation in plastic sleeves. The advantages of this method include easy retrieval of the bulbs after propagation, recovery of bulbs without any waste, and substantial savings in human resources. A small but efficient device was even developed for harvesting the prickly but tasty sabra, a wild domestic fruit cultivated in Israel. The phytotron enables Institute researchers to conduct tests under completely controlled temperature, light, humidity, fertilization, and irrigation conditions. The phytotron enables the planning of various crop conditions independent of the seasons. Winter experiments can be formed in summer, spring, or autumn. This significantly reduces the time required for research. And what's new in disease and pest research? Institute of Plant Protection places special emphasis on finding alternatives to chemical pesticides. For example, the creeping petunia, which is sensitive to a number of viral diseases, was rid of the viruses attacking it by propagating the plant from meristematic tissue culture. Using methods developed here, agriculturists can exploit the relatively warm Israeli winter to produce cuttings that meet the criteria for suppressing viruses and producing healthy, high-quality plants suitable for export to Europe's growers. Many fungal diseases seriously damage greenhouse crops and may even kill the plant by damaging the stem. Biological pest control using microorganisms isolated from their environment and that have not undergone genetic manipulation enables the development of environmentally friendly biological preparations for the grower and consumer. These microorganisms have positive characteristics that qualify them to exist in greenhouse or open field conditions. After the development process, preparations such as Trichodex, used worldwide for years as a pesticide for greenhouse crops and vineyards, can be produced from them. The use of such preparations and their combination with efficient pest control enables satisfactory disinfection, reduces the use of chemical pesticides, and prevents development of resistance to them. In addition to the organization's research, the scientists supervise the work of graduate students and teach at the Hebrew University's Faculty of Agriculture and other institutes of higher education. International cooperation is an integral part of the Agricultural Research Organization's activities. International connections include agreements for agricultural research cooperation with numerous countries and international scientific institutes. These include joint agricultural research, exchange of scientists, and international courses, tutoring graduate students, sharing know-how with experts, hosting delegations and visitors from Israel and abroad, consultation, and more. The organization also operates a unit for marketing applied research and fundraising for their implementation. International cooperation is a lever for commercial application of Israeli agricultural research achievements worldwide. This cooperation may contribute to the distribution of sheep breeds recently developed at the Agricultural Research Organization, Afek Awasi and Afek Asaf. These breeds are excellent milk producers, are prolific, and are compatible with Israeli conditions. Research is currently focusing on developing prolific breeds that will ensure profitability even under intensive conditions. Eastern Mediterranean countries have shown great interest in these breeds. The ova collected from elite cows using ovum pickup and in vitro fertilization procedure greatly contribute to genetic improvement of cattle. To preserve these ova and embryos, the Institute for Animal Science has developed a unique system for freezing ova, embryos, and a range of cells and tissues at a temperature that reaches below minus 200 degrees Celsius in under a tenth of a second without creating ice crystals. This system, called vitrification, is a significant breakthrough in genetic preservation for the genetic improvement and preservation of endangered species. The Institute for Animal Science and the Institute for Agricultural Engineering have developed a system that enables the food intake monitoring of each cow individually. Using a tiny electronic transmitter implanted in the cow's ear, the electronic system identifies the cow in its own stand. When the cow, with the embedded chip, approaches the sensor, the cow's stand opens. This instrument enables monitoring and receipt of precise individual data of each cow's nutritional requirements and feeding habits in its natural environment, the herd. The data is automatically transferred to a central computer where economic efficiency and hereditary aspects in exploiting fodder can be analyzed. The pink tilapia fish are popular because of their attractive appearance. These fish are stocked in culture ponds in the south of the country. The Volcani Institute's Department of Aquaculture is currently breeding a cold-tolerant tilapia. Various fish species recently introduced from Australia are being acclimated at the Institute. In addition, ornamental fish are being cultivated to broaden the range of fish, a growing export industry. Water, 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 and not enough water. Efficient management of Israel's water resources is a national objective, and the researchers of the Institute for Soil, Water, and Environmental Sciences play an important part in the development of methods to exploit and recycle marginal water. The Negev is an arid region. It is covered mainly by unstable loam that forms a crust with the first rain. This crust prevents absorption of water, resulting in runoffs, floods, and erosion. But there is a solution for that too. The Institute for Soil, Water, and Environmental Sciences adds various supplements to the loamy soil to prevent crust formation and to increase penetration of rainwater. Close contact with agriculturalists is one of the cornerstones of the organization's activities. This connection is expressed in, among other things, the opening of the Volcani Center's gates and regional research stations, Neve Yar in the north and Gilat in the south, to farmers, demonstrating the Institute's developments and researches. The Department for Citriculture breeds new varieties adapted to Israeli conditions, with emphasis on varieties with few or no seeds, a long shelf life, and desirable taste and aroma. About 40% of all new plantings in Israel, especially in the south, were developed by this department in the framework of improving citrus cultivars. Strawberries are a prominent export industry. Researchers of the Institute for Field and Garden Crops have developed early ripening cultivars that ripen in November-December, when prices abroad are very high. These cultivars are indifferent to night temperatures and are relatively tolerant to heat. They remind us of a taste of old times, sweet with a characteristic fragrance and appealing appearance. Production of seeds from hybrid varieties involves a lot of work. In the seed production process, it is necessary to sterilize the flowers and pollinate them with pollen from another plant. Institute researchers have succeeded in developing parent lines of vegetables with flowers characterized by male sterility. This eliminates the sterilization process, resulting in substantial savings in production costs. This development is a valuable contribution to the hybrid seed production industry, which is one of the most sophisticated of all agricultural industries. Export of hybrid seeds is among the most important and profitable industries in 21st century Israeli agriculture. The future lies in research. Today's agriculture is highly sophisticated and aims at identifying new markets. Advanced agricultural research can identify problems and pave the road to a solution. Although the number of people involved in agriculture has decreased over the last decade, the added value of agriculture has increased sharply. Research, the first link in the technological progress system, has made a valuable contribution. Israeli agricultural research has made many breakthroughs in Israeli agriculture with glowing achievements. The know-how produced by our organization is in demand by and exported to many countries throughout the world.